and I clock. Man, I was around the corner. Mom. My mom still punched me. My mom like control.
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
Yo.
Put this in the. Yep. Well, if you can blow it up, I dropped this picture in the chat. I want Jose to see this.
What, in the private chat or in the Facebook chat?
Facebook chat.
Oh, I was like, what the hell did he put it at?
So, Jose, how many people you know got one of these in their bathroom?
Hold up.
Big ass Godzilla vibrator. Like, what? You violent?
I'm surprised it's not.
Hey,
You know
man,
what?
it's 2021. You do you, man. I'm like
all the way Godzilla fan. How I feel though?
I know, right?
Hey, I gotta be real. I'm surprised that wasn't a thing at Comic-Con. Like, oh, new Godzilla vibrator. And it's like, whoa, shit.
No, they have some, but they're
they do exist.
unauthorized. They're unauthorized, but yeah.
And you can definitely get them in Japan.
Yep.
All right, Jose, this is it right here.
Convention.
This bad boy.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's pretty sweet. That's sick. I like that.
Azure.
I still need to find the Godzilla toilet paper holder. Though.
No, Jose, I want up. Nah, I want up here on. I want up. I got a one up for you. The little miniature sized Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla, and King Ghidorah standing in front of the podium, bowing, apologizing,
Like, look,
apologizing for destruction.
Like, I am so sorry.
And
how much does that junk cost too? Don't that cost like a grip?
Oh, what, to get those little minis, those little mini figures?
I love them because they're just straight up pow.
They're literally no. The fact that Godzilla is in a whole ass Kojima suit.
How big is this?
Yes.
Who bought it? Who made it for? No, who made it for him?
I forget. Yeah, that's another good question.
Somebody asked that question. Godzilla, before you go, who made that?
I also got this, Jose.
Christian Dior. Is a Dior.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's pretty fucking dope.
Yep. Shout out to my boy Dusty.
Dior suit.
Shout out
to Gimera. He's wearing the DKNY fall collection.
God damn.
So shout outs to Dustin Williams. I'm so mad that dude got a life-size Godzilla statue in his garage.
Sheesh.
And it makes sense.
How heavy is that? I would go. Come on, boys, we have a job to do. Like, what are we stealing? Don't worry about it. Y'all see when we get there. It's gonna be worth it.
It's gonna be worth it. Like, you gotta heal.
Why you even got us going over here? How we gonna pick that motherfucker up?
Listen, you gotta heal the climb. I'll tell you that. You gotta heal the climb.
It made me feel that's on the level of stealing an ATM machine. You better got a plan, nigga.
Right?
Man,
and this is the Godzilla statue with the extra long tail.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna say this word: weight distribution.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wait.
Don't worry, guys. I watched all the Fast and Furious. We can do this.
Don't do this thing, but we all huddle around. 1, 2, 3, push up. No.
I'll tell you, hey Jose, I'll tell you this as somebody that watched the jank version of Fast 9 that's online.
Oh wow.
They go there.
It wasn't quick.
Do they? I bet.
They go there. But it's kind of like how when you watched Avengers before we all did and stuff, because when you were house sitting and stuff, and you was like, yeah, it wasn't a good copy, but it was all right and stuff. And I was like, all right, cool, because at first I was going to watch it. I was like, but I kind of want to see the theaters and stuff and get the experience. It's the same thing with Fast 9. It's like I watched it and I was like, this will probably hit better when I see it in theaters.
Probably. It's probably one of those. I think all action movies, to an extent, are like that. I remember, what was that jump, The Confidential or whatever it was with Clive Owen? Or International, International, or some crap like that.
International,
but anyway, whatever. It had a really good gunfight. That's like the only thing that was good about it. It had a gunfight, but it was all like shooting from different floors. It was real good. They shot it real well. Eris would watch that and go, look at that back shot right there. Now you see how they did that at the angle? Hey guys, close your eyes real quick. I'm gonna do something weird with my dick.
God.
Oh man, you remember the cover for the International with Clive Owen with the gun like this? She's pointing the gun and stuff. I was like, is this gonna be action packed? And you watch the movie and it's like, it's just one action scene in this movie.
And I thought to myself, I remember seeing it on bootleg, and I remember I think it was Angie that said, it might be better than the movie did. No one. It made its money. I think it made budget.
Oh, it did decent, and for I don't think they spent a lot of money on that movie anyway, so it's like it did decent, but that was about it. So
and they've been trying to put Clive on for the last 15 years.
They really did, man.
He did his job, he does. He didn't quite reach. I think Jason Statham took it over, and Clive Owen was just like, well, I guess I play second fiddle to Jason Statham, so we're good.
I just realized something, and we talked about this when we did that movie. Why wasn't he Constantine?
It would have made a whole lot more sense.
Clive Owen not Constantine?
I mean, it's kind of like what's the name of the dude?
I still like the movie. Oh, I still like it.
somebody in was it a Black on Cinema? The group was mentioning about with the movie Bogus with Whoopi Goldberg and Gerardo, whatever his name is, and somebody was like, "Yeah, you remember when America tried to make Gerardo a thing?" I was like, "Yeah, I know, right?" The dude was in like 50, 11 movies, and they was like, "You know what? We give up. We can't do shit with him."
We tried.
I don't know why. I got a problem. I don't understand why white America tried their best to sell Whoopi Goldberg in all these romantic comedies, and they didn't like Whoopi Goldberg.
They only worked with Ted Danson. Ted Danson was the only one that knew what was up. Was like, hey, him.
And they come for the Dan. No, the Ted, the TD. I don't know. Whatever.
It was Ted Danson and our boy, the old man that was in Ghost Rider with Nick Cage.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott was opposite her in this movie called where she was a cop. Both of them were cops, and he was her partner and shit. And they had like a romantic he was the romantic interest partner and stuff. And I was like, those are the only two I can buy.
Is this pre-mustache Sam Elliott?
It's mustache. No, this is like this is Roadhouse.
I'm gonna say this is pure mustache Sam Elliott. That man never got rid of it.
He grew that shit, and he's like, hey, I rock this shit. No,
this is like this is Roadhouse era Sam Elliott.
Whenever Sam Elliott stars in a movie, his mustache gets top billing.
It really does.
Those are the only two white dudes I was like, yeah, I could buy them, getting it on with Whoopi Goldberg. That works. Yeah, it's fine. Can't buy anybody else. It's like, nah, can't see it. Sorry. Not happening.
I'm still mad that
see, but here's how it would go down, Chris. that one night. So like that one night in the Motel 6 with Whoopi Goldberg, and the next morning he'll run over to Patrick Swayze like, all right, brother, let's get the hell out of here.
Motel 6 though, man. You can't even bump her up to a bigger hotel.
No, because
that's the best we can do.
Not even a Hojo.
No. I'm going because he's still in that Roadhouse mood. So it just happened. It happens to be like it happens to be 3 blocks down from the Double Deuce.
I call that not totally in shape old white. I mean, I don't call that totally in shape white guy in his 40s, but I call that if he's like this wearing a t-shirt and he's this much sweaty, he's gonna kick your ass. That type of white guy.
Elliott was like, he's like,
any normal day, you'll probably wash him. He's sweating, dog. He rolling.
Sam Elliott didn't have an 8-pack like Patrick Swayze. He had like a 2-pack.
He did it, but he was more threatening than
he really was.
That's yo. When the fuck, Chris? See, you keep doing this.
We gotta do Roadhouse.
We don't even talk about Roadhouse, and it was like we ain't gonna do it. We'll wait. You'll be the main one. Yeah. I ain't really rushing to it. Hey guys, remember that time Roadhouse?
I watched that movie. I was like, this is the only movie where, number one, again, traveling across the country, I could buy that happens in some little small town in middle America. I've driven through some white ass areas. I'm like, yeah, that's some shit that would go down there.
That's like middle America, 80s.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Tycoon trying to think
that shit ain't happening in Dallas. Come on now.
That's the part I'm mad at. These niggas had a full-on helicopter. Sam Elliott, like in his drawers, with a pistol.
Also,
get out of our town.
Also, I have to sit there and say this. Only white dudes. As kids, we got hit with tidy whities, and then we got better and we wear boxer briefs.
Yeah,
white dudes for some reason they still hang on to tidy whities. I don't get that shit like at all. Like it's not like they
tidy whities. You're gonna look at his dick.
You really are, because you have no choice.
That's porn. That's porn. That's a nigga that wants you to see the main vein. He ain't playing with nobody. Why you laughing, Jose? Your people do the same thing, man. I see.
Hey, man,
pornos. I know
there's a fine line. There's a divide of Mexicans that are tidy whities and boxers. Or Speedos. It's like our Civil War and Speedos. That's right.
Speedos. If you feel frisky.
Sometimes you get me, you pull out the elephant trunk thong, and you're good to go. Just
The elephant
Some
trunk.
call it the elephant trunk. Others call it the Danger Noodle.
the Danger Noodle. Let's go.
This is why it's like, yo, Speedos. I don't know how anybody could just be like, you know what, I'm going to the beach and wear a Speedo. Have fun, dog. No.
First of all, you ever get your ass whooped against somebody wearing a Speedo? I want you to just stay down. Don't get up.
Don't get up.
Don't get up.
If you all right, imagine, Karis, if you get beat down by a white boy in a Speedo in Miami, though, I got to be real with you. Either A, he's a Bond villain goon, or B, that motherfucker is a race car driver, and he's like physically fit, and he was ready for a nigga like that.
Fucking Dale Earnhardt out there in a Speedo whooping everybody.
No, his name is like something like a long Italian name for no reason. My name is Facciadori Amanalo.
But everybody, but everybody calls me Dolph.
It's like old boy in
exactly.
like old boy in Talladega Nights and shit with the Frenchman played by Borat that joined NASCAR and shit.
Yep.
It's like, I will break your arm. Just go ahead and break it. It's like, all right.
Yo. real quick, Chris. I was watching what's the face last night? Raph and Men last night, right? And I told myself, because I noticed how Guy Ritchie, he's figured out something. Mm-hmm. When he steps away from his own style that makes him him, usually he's not having fun, but he's making a movie. So everything's fine.
That's what Men is.
But you can see little itty bitty things, like itty bitty things that only he does, the way he tracks the camera, all the rest of that shit. You know what I mean? So that's cool, right? But anyway, I was looking at it, I was like, wait a minute, this was written by Guy Ritchie. I can't tell you. Yeah, his name is Boy Sweat. There he goes. There's Guy Ritchie.
I mean, the flashback.
Josh Hartnett's nickname is Boy Sweat. And I was like, there's Guy Ritchie. I was waiting for it.
Complete with
something
that blue,
either really homophobic or something really
complete with that Blue Lives Matter mustache that he was rocking too.
God damn.
Yo, Josh Hartnett had that Blue Lives Matter mustache. I'm like, oh, you say nigga. You say nigga on the job, don't you?
Right.
I know you do.
That's a white boy. That's a white boy said that did this move. Oh God, I thought I had like a
Speaking of
model. So he like this. He does this. He says this, Harris. I'm just saying, when they stormed it, they had a reason to. No, they had a reason. If you look at
speaking of which, and this is going to be our segue. There is a character. You're already going to know who it is. But there is a character in this Godzilla movie who is rocking a Blue Lives Matter mustache.
Man,
Jose already knows. Jose already knows.
Yeah, hard, full on too. I'm just like, oof.
And the sad thing, you know what? And what sucks, he's like one of the best characters in the movie.
Yeah, he's the one guy. Like, this guy's making sense over here.
He's making sense.
I'm telling you guys,
he's making sense. I don't know about that mustache.
That mustache show is making me not listen.
What do you think about marijuana possession in you?
Listen. My mustache is not going to be problematic for another 50 years. Leave me alone.
I'm telling you, man.
This mustache exerts power. All right? It exerts wisdom. Also, y'all guys don't know this yet, but in the Japanese culture, this means I have a big dick.
I like to say for the record, though,
you guys don't know this, but only a few of us. You know, it's that look in the room. Yeah.
All right.
This is why I want people to watch our Copland episode, because you could definitely differentiate who is Blue Lives Matter and who isn't. Ray Liotta isn't, because he doesn't have a mustache.
First of all, Chris. Blue Lives Matter will never be next to Ray Liotta in that movie, because when you show up with half a cigarette hanging out your mouth with precision aiming with that pistol and saving the life of Sylvester Stallone.
Don't forget, up for 7 days eyes.
Up for 7 days. You're just creeping over the car.
He always has this tail when he smokes, when he do coke, because he does a double sip.
My man came creeping over the damn car.
Then Robert De Niro rolling up. You blew it. I told you again. You blew it. All right, get out of here right now.
Meanwhile, Michael Rappaport, ain't like I killed a fucking nigga.
God.
All right, Mike. Cut. You're not supposed to say that, Mike.
Well, I'm cool.
You're like, oh damn, wrong. Like, oh damn, wrong. Not wrong movie, wrong conversation.
Wrong conversation. Yeah. Come on. That's part of my style, though. No. I knew enough black guys. I bet he said that. I knew enough black guys.
I know enough. That's the quota. Is I know enough.
What's enough? Usually, when I say enough is like 8 to me. So what's enough to muck around?
So anyway, let's go. Like let's go ahead and get this thing over with. We already 15 minutes into this live. Like Chris, I'll go ahead and start this off.
Oh,
I got this. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Three Black Geeks. This is a special one because this is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. And we got a special guest here. Please say hello to everyone listening.
What up, everyone? This is your boy Jose from Cinema Villains. Formerly Villains Never Sleep, I guess. But, most importantly, Cinema Villains now. A podcast I do with the wonderful Shaggy Black. Y'all know that guy. He's
the repackage is real.
Great.
The repackage is real.
The repackage is real.
Hold
I
on.
never say that.
Listen, CJ. See, you got a whole lot of nerve saying the repackage is real. There are a couple of packages that still need to be repackaged. Shaggy, listen, my dog, I love you. Get a new mic. Anyway, moving on. My co-host.
No, and it's like, I got these. Don't worry, man. These AirPods sound good. I'm like, Shaq, they really don't, dog. Just plug. Dog, your mic is right there. Plug it in. Nah, man, we're good. I'm like, oh fuck.
Anyways, y'all, my co-host, CJ and D. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Hello.
I want to play the Simon Says thing, but CJ made a point. It's really more damaging and scary to get sued by Toho by playing that song than actually playing a Godzilla clip.
Don't do it.
You want to talk about an acidic song that's going to eat up any money, any residual.
Like, damn, even I'm getting sued.
I can already listen. I can already see that content ID coming, and all of us will look at that YouTube channel and go,
"Oh shit, here we go again."
Look. We are. It's already.
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a really shitty picture of Godzilla and put girl on there.
Green crayon.
Just make sure Toho don't get a different thing. I'm gonna spell Gojira wrong. I'm gonna spell G like JKKIRA.
Hey, let me tell you what, man. It's already enough. It's already enough that Def Jam and Universal got in our ass for fucking putting DMX's song on our fucking podcast. We don't need no problems with Toho, man.
I'm just saying, man.
Damn.
Toho, it was
Toho.
really weird because one of the real earliest things that we've known for anything was Toho and Toei. Now, it was kind of funny because with Dragon Ball, we put out Dragon Ball, we never got a content. To this day, we never got anything with our content ID or any type of warning with Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
But Sailor Moon, however,
damn.
But Power Rangers, however, everybody else, Dragon Ball, like, nah, nigga, that's yours. Like, I don't understand that. That's weird.
You got to understand, Toho has by far the tightest grip on their IPs. I mean, the moment something unofficial goes up online and it catches their radar real quick. They're like, did anybody just wait a minute? I sense a disturbance in the force. There's a Jetman episode that has not been licensed by us.
I mean,
no, I heard this.
We got to get on that ASAP.
Release the kaiju.
Release the kaiju.
If you're on YouTube and you think about putting up My Hero Academia shit, Toho, yeah, take it off.
So let me ask you guys this.
Dude, look, he comes in all buff, wearing the most happiest Toho animation shirt ever. Give in.
So guys, let me ask you this. So so I said this before. Me and Prime on Morphin Medicast, we had watched Ultra Q because Shout Factory had put it out on Blu-ray, and we had noticed that in that show they used the old Godzilla costume from this movie for one of the monsters in Ultra Q. As they do for everything with Ultraman related, they reuse a lot of costumes and stuff. But what we were noticing is that the Blu-ray copy of it, the black and white was pristine and perfect. Now, did you guys watch the Blu-ray version of this Godzilla film?
Nigga, I got the original Blu-ray from Japan.
Yeah.
Crisp.
I can't say I have.
It's extremely, it's immaculate.
Oh, it looks great. Even though even the models. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I said I can't say I have because the only time I seen it was on streaming. So that's hard to say.
No, see, I'm actually glad you said that, D. All right, quick field trip time. D, there was this time post high school. I think we were like in the early 20s. I came to your folks' house. You came out of the room and you just pulled out the stack of DVDs, and I just happened to notice one of them, and it said Gojira, and I said, "Holy shit, you got the DVD of the original that was released." For the very first time, they released the original Gojira on DVD. You had that.
Yep.
It was like that black and red DVD case, right?
Yeah, the black and red one.
Here's the funny thing. I know what you're talking about.
You had it.
Now he's contemplating, like, did I have it? Where did I put it?
If I did, here's a better one. Hey, D, did that belong to somebody?
But that was
I'm being real.
You did have it.
But I will say this.
And because what shocked me about it was you had it before I did.
I did, didn't I?
Yep. Because you remember, I think this was during the time you was definitely on your Kurosawa kick, and for some reason you picked up a kaiju film. I don't know.
I fucking did.
There you go.
Now here's the thing.
It's like it's all adding up. He's about to go back to that moment.
I was on my Kurosawa kick. I love old samurai flicks to this day, and one of the main reasons why I'm not a Godzilla head like you two, but I love Godzilla is because I appreciate the old Japanese films. I really do.
Yeah.
Now that being said, I gotta agree with my kids. Yo, Dad, why does Godzilla look derpy? Shut the fuck up.
That's what I'm saying. Do not show them Ultra Q. Yo, if they making fun of derpy Godzilla, they would fucking crack up on Ultra Q and all the monsters. They'd be like, "Damn, what is this?"
See, and which also goes into something I said to y'all in the private chat. I said, I responded back to your message, D. I said, "Oh no, your kids think that Godzilla 54 had a derpy look. No, show them the 60s into the early 70s Godzilla. That was full on. No, that right there was full on herp derp.
Right.
Okay.
Even Godzilla 85 looked kind of derpy and like
bad.
He was like, huh? Like
I was like,
he was like, oh boy, like who put him on a gun? What do you say?
I gotta find which movie was that he looked like that.
I forgot which one it was.
Oh shit! What he said? Who put that man on? It was me, sir.
Bro, so no, you took one look at that Godzilla and said you took one look at that Godzilla. It was like, hey, he needs some milk.
Hey, so yo, I find it crazy too how earlier in the 50s the schism just leapt out of American companies. Like, we want that Godzilla, but we really don't like them Japanese people in it. What can we do to make it appeal to Americans?
All right, so I got some lore about that. So this movie came out in 1954. The American version didn't get it until 1956.
Yep.
And because of the anti-nuke messages that this movie is scattered with, from beginning to end, they had to do. God bless them, 1950s Americanism. They had to do the best that they could to put in an American to sell this movie.
Got Perry Mason.
First of all, they didn't.
Perry Mason, let's go.
First of all, you get an American actor. You shoehorn him into sets that look similar to the shit that was shot 2 years prior
with body double.
Body doubles.
With body double.
I'm sorry.
With body double. Then on top of that, you cut this movie up into the most ridiculous pieces ever. Listen, Jose, the very first time you saw the American Godzilla film, who would have thought that when you're watching, you're not even 5 minutes in and you're already looking at the ending?
Yeah. Shit just wrecked everything. It's like, oh boy, comes out the robo like, damn.
This is the thing that got me. I saw that. Now, again, I only seen the first Gojira maybe twice. probably had to be more than that. I know I've seen him more than that. But anyway, when I was looking at it, I was like, because today was the first time I said I'm gonna watch the American version. And I watched, I was like, that doesn't seem right. Wait a minute, why did it start right there?
I gave these 5 minutes.
Show it.
I gave these 5 minutes before he clicked off.
Yo, old boy pops out the rubble. He literally looks at the camera. Is like, you're probably wondering how I got here. Well,
Yep.
So
yeah, I was a young American. I was a young American coming over to Japan.
Let me tell you something. Hey, Jose,
what's up,
which do you find more believable? Raymond Burr being shoehorned into this movie, or after Godzilla's very first attack in Tokyo Bay, that they started flying in researchers from all over the world? Do you really believe that they actually? Which do you find more believable?
Exactly, like goddamn.
Yeah, because all they showed was airplanes. As soon as I saw Pan America, I was like, "Oh, there you go." That's
researchers.
I was like,
I'm staying in. We got a story here. I got to stay here for this.
It was researchers, then screen wipe into the meeting room. It was everybody was Japanese.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at that like, yeah, a lot of Asians around the world that came here for this.
You know what they did, right? They put the white people out in the hallway.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. Oh, they out there. Don't worry. They're getting the story. They got to translate.
They're in the hallway.
They're in the back room. We got a fire code. So
yeah, exactly. We got a fire code.
Harris, I got to wait. I see that parachute there.
D, I'm sorry. Gold star for you, sir, because you used that scene for the I saw the parachutes and no other scene in Godzilla. That is your first use.
I respect Godzilla. He's like me in bed. If I'm gonna get you pregnant, it's happening.
My thing is this though. Raymond Burr is playing Steve Martin. Now, here's what makes him not believable. He's an American in Japan, and he sees them. I mean, jumping ahead here. Use the oxen to destroy Godzilla. He didn't steal the schematics.
Oh no, Chris. Hold on. Before we go any further in this podcast, we are not talking about Gigantus the fire monster. Okay.
Goddamn.
We are not talking about this movie. We're talking about Gojira. Okay?
I know, but I'm just mentioning that. I'm just mentioning that because that was just kind of like, this is not believable at all here. And it's like, really? He's just there to get the scoop? Who's going to publish that in America? First of all,
what makes you think? What really, honest to God, makes you think, Chris, for 2 seconds that Perry Base is going to be crafty enough to go into Dr. Serizawa's lab and try to steal the schematics when 90% of this movie is him standing around waiting for the interpreter to tell him something.
And what are you saying, Chris? His camouflage is 1%. Do you really think that any of this is going to work?
But no, we're not. But we're definitely not talking about the American one.
But here's the thing. I wanted to say this. I got to get this out. I think it is hilarious though that they was just like, look, like we got to tell you something. We really like this movie. It's a big old giant monster. He's killing a whole bunch of agents. I love it. Here's the problem. Where are the white people at? Like, well, you know, they're all there. No. Also, they talk about the nuke a lot. That sounds like they're blaming us. So here's the thing. Put a white guy in there. Make sure they don't say nothing about the nukes. And if it does say something about nukes, making sure it looks like they did it.
Yep.
Got a movie. All right, let's do it.
And the thing of it is, you know, look, people can talk all they want.
The way they framed it even early in the movie, it's like, there's science created this monster. I'm like, it could be the fact that we did an elbow drop on them niggas, and now they have to make their weaponry way more bigger than it was.
People can talk all they want to about like how we've butchered, you know, so many like Japanese stuff, but I think Godzilla is the first time we really just took a knife to it and just cut it all the way up, and it's like, yo, it really is a night and day difference between Gojira and Godzilla King of the Monsters. Yeah. It really is a huge difference.
It's like, what the hell? I'll never forget this first time I watched that shit.
You know it's bad that there's a stark difference between the two movies when Metal Gear Solid 3 even tells you to watch the original Japanese.
Watch Gojira. Yeah, watch Gojira. Yes, yeah.
When Paramedic tells you right before you save the game, if I were you, Snake, I'd watch the original movie.
You know what? I think it's wild though that I was looking at something. This is what I actually just wanted to know about this motherfucker. It was Woody Allen. I didn't give a I already knew what he did. I didn't give a fuck. I was just reading up about it, and he was a really big fan of Kurosawa, and he was a really big fan of Godzilla, and he was one of the main people in New York. That's like, hey, bring this fucking movie over, and that was the real thing. They don't, especially post World War II. We don't fuck with the Japanese. We don't want to see their shit. Nobody's really coming out. Only people come out to these art houses to see these movies. Like as much as everybody says Seven Samurai is one of the greatest movies, yo, when it came out, nobody but critics watched it. That's how
Here's
big
the funny part about
nobody
though.
but critics watched it because nobody was trying to see the Japanese. These are people lesser than us, that American arrogance. But there you go. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, but to the critics' credit, though,
it took them that time to kind of cross over, man.
Right.
And Godzilla, real talk, he was the one that bridged everything. He bridged everything. He was the first big superstar. So a lot of the Japanese stuff that leaked into America, from anime to even just regular filmmaking, started leaking into America because of Godzilla.
My man got a Hollywood star.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that kills me. It's amazing how he got there. And you know how we had to do it? Get Raven Burr.
Here's the crazy part, right?
Because
even
film sold modestly, and that's how we got to where it is.
But even film critics back then smelled the bullshit, because it was like, this is just a watered down version of the original one, and you're trying to cover. And I think one of the critics even sat there and was like, "Yeah, they just watered this down to cover up the A-bomb shit." Like, what?
The funny and you know the thing, what I really think is messed up. I felt like America had jumped the gun. I mean, I get it. It was 9 years after the A-bomb was dropped and Japan had surrendered. But if you watch the whole movie, yeah, Japan mentions hydrogen bombs, nuclear testing, and all that stuff. They never once said anything about America.
But it's pretty obvious who did it.
That sounds
it's not even. It's not. See,
that sounds like good old white people to me.
No. But they never said anything. They never said anything once about America. Like the only thing.
True, yeah, he's not lying.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing they said was Godzilla is no different than the H-bomb that still hangs over Japan's head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like,
hey, that was years ago. Okay, get over it.
Nah, bro,
all right?
You can't. Nah,
the war's over. Hitler's gone.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Listen.
Oh, the Russians really killed us. Shut the fuck up, nigga.
Listen. Listen. First of all, you knew that this movie was already hitting a little too close to home in Japan when when this girl on the subway train was like, God, first I nearly got away from Nagasaki, and now I got to deal with this.
But
when I heard
white audiences in the 1950s, we did that.
No, we didn't do that, right? No, we couldn't have.
No, I thought it was Germany.
No, when I heard they say that line, I was like, God, this is 1954. That hits a lot different when you think about it.
Yeah,
it really hits.
No, it does, yeah.
It is so different when you really think about it. Like, shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
they was going to bomb more cities than.
They were.
Hiroshima.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the kid
was like, okay, you win.
Real talk. I think one more H bomb, if they dropped on one more H bomb, and let's just be real, the cause and the anime would have been way more doper. I'm just saying, if we dropped one more, just one more, I know it probably would have been the tipping point. Yeah, I get it. You can't go to Japan. It's a nuclear waste site. Shut up. I think we would have been.
Now, here's the thing. I would say this about watching, like I said, watch it in high definition and stuff, right? Watching the beginning of the movie with the ships getting fucked up by Godzilla and stuff is it's always funny because you see the process of them using like shipping models and stuff to destroy it. Yeah. And it's like, I forgot that's how they did it back then, obviously, because special effects or whatever and stuff. But it's something endearing about watching. It's like, yeah, sure, we know that's a toy model, but I don't know, it just works.
No, not just the toy model, Chris. How about the other endearing part? The light under the water.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. The light under the water, which, by the way, they had to I guess rotoscope it or double expose.
I think it was rotoscope.
Yeah, they had to they basically shot the scene over another scene. So like you see the water, then you see this other piece of footage of the light under the water. That was just crazy.
And I was telling my kids was like, well, that kind of look like for 1954.
Cutting edge.
Damn impressive.
Yeah, that was definitely impressive.
They were like, holy shit.
Because even now, I can imagine people that are trying to do like regular practical effects, like in their backyard, they will have trouble doing that shot.
Yeah,
like that's actually not bad for 1954.
I mean, bro, they still technically shoot Ultraman with a guy in a suit still to this day. So
exactly.
I mean, they just
even on CGI show, D. I have news to tell you.
the CGI, you can definitely tell where the CGI is at, but they'll put a guy in a suit in a heartbeat and the stunt guy in a suit and just be like, yeah, do work. Have fun.
Go ahead, sometimes, bro. Man, this helmet heavy. I know, cuz.
The other impressive bit about Godzilla, what set him apart from every other monster, was his roar and how they created it.
Then they use like a not cello, but like
they use a double bass.
Yeah, double bass. Yeah, double bass.
It was like a double bass.
Leather glove.
Yeah, it was like a double bass, a glove, a sponge.
Yeah,
and like
glove.
Yeah,
and they just
Yep.
Can you imagine if that's your job is to do special effects noises? Like, think about it. The guy that made the Wilhelm scream is like caking up with money.
Mm-hmm.
That whole estate is just caking, and you, the guy that made the Godzilla fucking roar, you're caking for life. You're set for life.
Yeah,
your kids are good to go. Pretty
like
much.
no one had ever made that sound before.
I was like, I was asking myself, who's still alive? And DK was with me. DK was like, oh my God, Godzilla's still alive. No, he's not. The nigga who played Godzilla is 108 years old, dude.
Yeah.
No, but the suit actor, the original, like the guy in the suit,
he
passed away. Yeah,
he passed away. He passed away.
See, I was trying to figure out because I knew somebody did. I wasn't really sure who.
Yeah,
he was like what 3 years ago, 2 years
ago,
3 years ago.
Something like that.
They pretty much dedicated King of the Monsters to him.
Yeah,
yeah, I remember that.
I got to meet him. It's pretty cool. I got to meet him at Comic-Con in Dallas. I was like, look at it, like this Godzilla. I was like, oh my God.
That's awesome, Jose, that you got a chance to meet him. I got a chance to see a piece of this movie's history. I mentioned this like a long time ago. There was a Godzilla Expo back in 2014. Mm-hmm. And when I was there, I saw the actual Oxygen Destroyer.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, the original Oxygen Destroyer from 54. Guess what color it was?
Oh shit! What
yellow?
color is it? Is it green?
Yellow?
No.
Chris was right.
It's yellow. Oh wow.
Yeah, yellow. Yeah, I kind of figured because it's like I can only think of because I'm only going based off of like for future Godzilla movies and stuff when they've had like situations, and it's always like, do they use yellow or blue? Like light blue or something like that. So I was like, oh,
yeah,
yellow. Of course,
because when you think about it, they had to use something that would somehow not like be overexposed in a black and white film.
Yeah, so it's like yellow makes sense and stuff. But so Godzilla apparently has been killing the fishing industry in Japan. Is just dead. It's
slaughtered.
It's slaughtered.
You know what I find?
Fish with shit.
Like what I find it like what I found crazy was it wasn't just like shipping like basically a bunch of bunch of boats for fishing, like a bunch of fishing boats. I think even a military boat got destroyed. I mean, like everybody that went out to try to investigate the cause of all these accidents all ended up getting murdered.
It's like Oda Island or whatever. That's what he went to.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody that's going there, like, what's going on? And like at one point, Godzilla pops up and ends up taking out one of the reporters' helicopters. That was fun. That was fun to watch. A bunch of homes, which I mean, at this point, it feels like that's just par for the course.
So if you really count it, Godzilla appears on land 3 times in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Why did I thought it was 4 for some reason?
The first time was when he appeared on Odo Island.
Yeah.
And the second time was when he appeared in Tokyo Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And the third time was when he made its way from the Tokyo Yokohama coastline, and then eventually came back to Tokyo and burnt that whole city to the ground.
I mean, the whole movie is like them trying to figure out how are we going to sit there and take out Godzilla. and stuff, and then you got
And
the
it's
resident.
like you don't. No.
You
I mean,
don't.
that's on top of the residents are like, hey, you gonna do something about this shit? I lost a house, man. You gonna do something, please?
Son, you know,
I was like, and that was the little thing. They kind of cut out some of the drama of that in an American version.
Yep.
They cut a lot of that drama.
Oh yeah, that shit
That
was
was
like missing.
That was the part I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Why am I just seeing clips? You know what I'm
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Now let me also point out, dating all the way back to 1954, politics ain't shit.
Oh, it really ain't.
Yeah,
I mean,
You want to know why? You want to know why politicians ain't been shit? They get all of this scientific evidence from my boy Professor Yamane. And
they hired this man. They paid this man.
They hired him, and they hired all of Japan's best scientists to try to figure out what was going on. They brought in the Geiger counters and everything. They're letting everybody know, hey, there's radiation here. Everybody, please step back. We will give you as much information as we can.
Yeah,
and all that shit. And hold on. And at the end of it, they gather all that information, all this evidence to prove that, yeah, Godzilla came from nuclear weapons, nuclear testing, all the stuff that's happened over the last decade is what caused this monster to appear. Politician comes up. After all this information and evidence that we have received, it is true that this is definitely a monster. We will not tell the public.
yeah. Like, good job. Yeah.
You know what?
We will keep this quiet and not tell the public. Now, in his defense,
how do you keep a 50-meter tall fucking Godzilla away from the public? Like, how does that?
The way we can do that is with the Tokyo police. Let me tell you, Tokyo police force is the most powerful thing in the world, and the Japanese police force is just as powerful. That's what we can stop the big old beast and make sure that he doesn't stop all Tokyo.
The Tokyo cops are like, are these motherfuckers serious? Like, what?
Hey, yo, who mans this?
I ain't getting paid enough for this shit.
Remember Matrix Reloaded, your favorite bomb? Who said something about bomb? It's on that same level, like monster.
Because my thing is this is like, think about it, dude. That would be like that would be like today. All of a sudden, people are like, yeah, guy, somebody on YouTube got a video of Godzilla walking across the San Francisco Bay. What are you talking about? Godzilla doesn't exist, but dude, on YouTube, here's the video. Like, this isn't fake.
No, Chris. It's the fact that the politicians said we're not gonna put this out to the public. Meanwhile, you got actual people in that room that saw it and said, what the hell are you talking about? The public needs to know about this. My man, I got the original dub with the original subtitles said, "Shut up, woman." And
hey, that patriarchy was a bitch in 1950s, wasn't it?
And he says,
who let this woman speak? Who let her speak?
Exactly.
Who let her speak in this room? Why is she in this room?
Why are you in this room?
That's a vagina I smell. You can smell that shit, nigga.
Where's my sandwich, woman?
It's 1954. It's not much to hide.
Why is your mouth open and there's not a baby in your stomach?
Where's my ham and cheese sandwich?
But Chris, he said, and I quote, if we were to announce this to the public, it would cause a panic.
Damn.
Hey,
turn on the TV.
I'm about to say someone
Look, I got Godzilla. I got it on TV.
You got it
on mute. But then the damn cat turned off the sound bar, so the TV speakers came off.
Cat was like, "You want to get these noise?"
Jose, what made that part perfect was I said it would cause a panic, and I hear the child crying.
See, I'm helping y'all out, man. I'm
just saying, how do you just say that shit? And it's like, but dog, you have a whole ass village that saw that. But you gonna fucking shoot them all in the head and say that it's it?
There's a footprint in the sand.
Several footprints.
And
those kids will make anything out of sand these days.
Sir, I don't think you know this. He wears Adidas. So we have a problem.
Let me have you on.
He owes me about $350.
Let me have you Godzilla. He wore Adidas.
I nigga need about $350.
Let me have you guys.
This was in 2020.
Let me have you understand something. All those footprints that he made in that sand, you can no longer go back to that beach.
Oh no, it's done.
No
vacationing.
It's a complete radioactive, like The whole thing, like the
unless you
whole
want
thing
to
is
grow an extra leg or something like that,
Right?
sure. You
Like
know?
the whole
Your
thing.
hair. What happened to your hair? I don't know, man. I went to the beach last summer and I'm just bald now. I'm tired all the time. I don't know what the hell's going on.
You know what? I always like how
that's
the
terrible
American
too.
version. I always like how the American version, like, at least the American version we just got done with, which we all liked. I like how they kind of downplayed the fact you do realize that everywhere Godzilla goes, there's this long trail of probably dead trees. You know that, right?
Raymond Burr looking at you. Radiation poisoning?
What the fuck is that, nigga?
No, that's overdoing it. No, you won't get radiation poison.
Now,
Oh man,
as I
Just
said
pop this
before,
pill. You'll be okay.
y'all be fine.
Yeah.
sprinkle some Akira comb on it. He'll be all right.
Here's these tablets.
Don't worry,
here.
don't worry. Hopefully San Francisco is just like Japan. Y'all can build this up in 5 days. Seriously, I always laugh, but Japanese ingenuity is
It's like here's this radiation. Like here's this radiation tablet. You're gonna have to insert it in your ass in order for it to work. So yeah, Godspeed.
Listen, I gotta give all respect points to Professor Yamane because he wanted to study this creature.
Government doesn't care about studying. They don't give a shit.
Here's the problem. And here's the problem with the rest of the country. The whole, like, all the politicians and people are like, nah, son, kill it. The professor, this thing survived like long periods of exposure to radiation. We need to study this. This could actually help us if we can take some time to study it. But what would happen if he? But then everybody else will go, well, what happens if he enters Tokyo? What if it actually shows up on land and wreaks havoc?
I know one thing. You better not show up at my house.
I mean, to think about it for a second, like I don't, you know what, and I'm glad Godzilla was kind of like the start of these kind of movies where the government clearly sees like the most extreme of extreme ideas clearly isn't going to work, but you think the lesser idea is going to work. You know what? Let's drop some death charges on it. I think that's not going to work, dog.
Death charge.
I still don't think it. I still think this is just as damaging as your boy doing this, Eris. So we're gonna open the beach. We're gonna open the beach. I don't give a. You're talking. It's just one shark, dog.
It's one shark. No.
All right, it's a big ass weekend. It's 1970s. I heard Butch Cassidy gonna show up. You ain't fucking this up for me.
It's like we got bodies here. Eventually, somebody's gonna put the fucking shark in the chokehold. All right, one of them is gonna do it.
Listen.
Shark can't eat everybody, man. Come on.
When your first big brain idea is to set up a series of electric fences, and you think that's gonna keep Godzilla out.
It works on my dog, man. It'll work on the Godzilla.
Electricity.
But then again, But you know what's funny about that is they circle back to that idea of electricity being weak. Like, no, Godzilla's weak to electricity in future movies, and I always thought that was odd. Not even King Kong versus Godzilla. They did that in another movie too. But then when they made him, in the Smog Monster movie and Godzilla versus Hedorah, they made it to where Godzilla became stronger because of electricity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And that's always whatever.
And he used electricity.
Got what I call Superman powers.
And he used electricity to fry Hedorah.
Well,
it's like shoot it. He's in the middle of that damn grid.
We also remember too, King Kong got was by electricity too. So it was like
that was full on goofy shit. But we're not gonna talk about that movie.
I know, but still, but the thing of it is,
he's
it's
been
like
energized. But you remember, he's been energized before. He was energized by friendship with him and Jaguar, teamed up together
to take out freaking Gigan.
They
did the handshake. Like that's right, man.
Do you know how much joy I got when I showed that to my son? I showed it to Donovan. Donovan seen that shit, died laughing. I'm showing Tay like, Tay, you want to know why your dad likes Godzilla? Like, why? And he just sees, he's like,
you talking about
like, what is this, Dad? Next time Jaguar got this nigga in the full Nelson, like, come on. You can see his drop kick go. It's like I saw a ghost like hop out his mouth. He was crying.
No.
And then he's like, Wait, he's doing it again.
Godzilla does the run back. He's like, well, one more, dog, one more. I know.
No. D, you want to see pure joy on your son's face? Show him Godzilla's King of Fighters win pose when he beats Monster Zero on Planet X and did the leaping victory.
No, but
show him that one. Also show him show him my reason why I love Godzilla. My man uses his atomic breath to fly.
Oh my god!
Just takes off.
He takes off with his atomic breath.
I love the shot of the military looking at him like, "Are you fucking shitting me?" Like just looking like.
Now, then my son had the goddamn nerve. He said this like that, like that's cool. But Dad, like, come on, did he do something new, Dad? Like, did he do something new? You want to see something cool? I showed him the shot of Godzilla when he grabbed my man's mouth,
burned it.
I was like, do you like Godzilla? Yeah, I know you do.
No, hold on. You know, going back to the 1954 movie, Godzilla's money shot. Picking up that train and biting it in half.
Yeah, oh, that's on the cut. Like if you look up Godzilla,
love that shot. And look, they clowned this movie the whole time because it looks cheap to them, but they love that shot.
I mean, if you type in Google Godzilla 1954, there's like multiple pictures of that Godzilla chopping down on the train.
They made a figure of that. There's like a little figure of that shit too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and the thing
is
like
the money shot. Yeah.
These Godzilla movies, it's like for some reason, it's like the government looks at scientists like, yeah, we'll pay you to do the research, but we're not going to take your advice. Fuck that. No.
Hey, look, Chris, what you trying to say? That happens in real life, though? Look, that's the reason why the government gave all that money to those scientists, and they said that global warming is real, and that's why the whole world believes in global warming.
Everybody looked straight in Al Gore's face and was like, "Yeah, fuck your global warming." I'm like, "God damn, what did Al Gore do?"
See, Chris.
Al Gore's like, "I will take the internet back if you don't believe in global warming." God damn it!
Now, actually, I could no. Check this out, y'all. See, I can see Al Gore taking all that negative energy and saying, "Okay, fine. You don't want to listen to me. All right, cool. I'm gonna bring in this Japanese man with the eye patch. You'll listen to him."
You know what? Everybody in America would be like, "Who is this Japanese guy with the eye patch?" Though I'm very intrigued.
Which we could segue this into probably the coolest, smoothest character in this movie, Dr. Serizawa.
Dude, what kind of scientist wears an eye patch? He looks like he's
I told my sons, Eris. I told my sons, kids, that's Dr. Serizawa. As you see, he is a kids, he's an anime character.
Punished Serizawa, a scientist betrayed by his country. Or something.
Listen. The lore behind his eye patch, you would think it would have came from something cool, but no, it's actually quite tragic.
I'm sorry. He just reminds me of fucking Mad Dog from Yakuza at this point.
I know he does.
Oh my god.
I know he does. I know he does, Chris. But no. Seriously, when I was paying attention to the subtitles, and they said, if it wasn't for the war, Dr. Serizawa would still have his eye. I'm like, oh come on!
Oh, Jubei Kimagabi over here lost his eye during the Tokugawa era. When Tokugawa was taking over, huh? Is that the
No, see, I'm
like, kids, that's the one thing I always love about Japanese. Like the eye patch, that's like a racer. That's like a
man looks like a Dr. No villain. He looks like a Bond villain.
He does look like a Bond villain, but at the same time, he was definitely the coolest. He was by far the coolest character. He was the coolest character in the movie.
He looked like he's about to take me. Look,
was he the coolest character? His girl was sleeping around. No.
Well,
he couldn't keep his girl in
no. See, first of all, Jose, hold up. D, Chris, let me answer this real quick. Jose.
Yes, sir.
That door was already closed a long time ago. Yeah. Because when she told your boy Ogata, I've always looked at Serizawa as nothing more than an older brother.
Damn.
Well,
that's done.
He's
like, can you just stab me in the other eye? How about that?
You know what? Meanwhile, Ayo, Jose. Meanwhile, Serizawa sitting back here listening to that, going,
Yo,
this
real
oxygen
talk.
destroyer. I'll kill us both right here.
Your boy, over there, look at that Sarah's eye. I guess she didn't see that one.
That did you? This is why I was looking at Serizawa in the recent Godzilla movies. I'm like, only thing missing was an eye patch.
No,
Like, he should have got his shit battle damaged in part 2. He came back.
I remember Aaron said, "Hey D, was you waiting for like a rock
to hit him in the eye?"
I was waiting for something, man.
Well, they should have gave his son the eye patch.
Listen,
fucking Godzilla versus Kong.
Put it this way. Like jumping into King of Monsters real quick. Not even King of Monsters, my bad. Jumping into 2014 Godzilla. If you sacrifice Bryan Cranston. If Ken Watanabe did not gain an eye patch by the end of that movie, it would have been worth it.
It's like let them fight.
I would have accepted that. I'm like, you know what? That is a noble sacrifice that I will accept.
He said, "Let them fight," and all of a sudden, a random rock just pops him in the eye.
Why a random rock?
I was expecting
Make it better.
Like the whole little thing, like Tommy Lee Jones, Batman. No, it covers his face.
No. Make it better. Make it better. See, I want to use like random shit, like fucking debris, a rock, or some aluminum siding or some shit. No. Don't do that.
No, imagine Godzilla trying to save him.
No.
Although Godzilla tried to save him, he was still horribly scarred.
No, Jose. Here's how Serizawa would get his eye patch in this movie. Serizawa in this movie would get his eye patch from a random atomic breath shot that missed.
Right?
Like he couldn't make it to the door in time to close it. All of a sudden, shit!
Like they were all trying to run. He thought he was at a safe distance. Out of nowhere,
all of a sudden, like fucking Elizabeth Olsen's character has to save him from his eye from getting burnt up and shit. It's like, all right, sir, here's an eye patch.
No, they give him an eye patch, but because it's current time movies, they make his eye robotic.
See, that would be fucked up. Like
that would be
that would have been some anime shit.
He's on his Kano shit.
Not even
lifts up the eye patch, beams someone. Beams of subordinate.
See, Jose, now you're being silly. I was simply going Spike Spiegel, but you just took it there and went silly.
Fucking Monarch blew all their budget just to give him a fucking damn cybernetic eye and shit. I'm like, so we blew all this budget here for his eye patch, and we really couldn't afford to study Godzilla. So
hey, look.
I can hear Serizawa right now. It was worth it. Because now I have all the information from the atomic breath.
Right there, when you say all that,
we no longer need to let them fight.
God,
here's the Warner Brothers exec. Yeah, cut that part out. That
would be Warner Brothers.
See, I thought it would be a good idea. See, we all thought it would.
Warner Brothers would be the one. Warner Brothers would be the one. They'll take a whole ass scene and like cut it out and call it a deleted scene on the Blu-ray.
All of a sudden, Godzilla kicking the monsters. We just see him with the cybernetic eye. Like, where the fuck did that come from?
When did this happen? Like dolls. Like
when he blows up Godzilla, he doesn't die. Oh, I just fucked him eye. I'm good.
No, he shows.
Which y'all didn't see Godzilla put his hands over me to protect me.
No, Jose. He would show up with that shit at the end of the movie, like Dhalsim's costume change at the end of Street Fighter.
Just out of the blue. It's like,
he's like, what?
Like, when did this happen?
You said all that. The part I worried about, he comes back with a cybernetic guy. He be like this. Well, it looks like the fight will continue. And he walks, and all of a sudden he starts running, and all of a sudden he jumps or something. He be like, yo, wait a minute.
Dr. Serizawa, away.
So they install his soul into Jet Jaguar for the sequel. That's why he's helping Godzilla.
To really set it off.
Jose,
nah, you see,
not threaten me with a good time.
Damn, I'm about to die. Okay, God, I'm sorry. That was a terrible idea.
Hey, if we're really gonna set that off,
threaten me with a good time.
Right.
Jose, let's be real. He would not become Jet Jaguar. We already know for a fact that his spirit animal is King Caesar.
Dude, there you go. No. The thing of it is to really set off that scene to end it, we just play the $6 million thing like
stop it, Chris.
He's faster, stronger.
He'd come back as King Caesar, just get stomped by Mega Godzilla.
And you know it's going to be some weird like CGI. He does this weird thing where he like twists in the air or some bullshit.
He does a spinning bird kick.
One thing is this, like when we see him, right? they're not trusting him for shit. It's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, we should really study before we. Oh, depth charges. All right, guys.
Fine, whatever.
Like if y'all think
Whatever, guys.
To the
Which
movie,
is why-
because
which
that's
is-
just how the movie is. Now, Eris, just because this is just how the movie is,
Mhm.
it does get kind of slower towards the end of the movie, right? My son, who's kind of still barely paying attention, he goes, "So wait a minute, is he the bad guy, son? Who do you think the bad guy in this movie is? The big ass monster or the man with the eye patch?" But ain't he making a bomb? Yeah. And he gonna kill Godzilla? Yeah. He the bad guy.
Technically, hold on. Technically, your son is wrong. Your son is technically wrong, dude. You want to know why?
Why?
Serizawa never wanted to use that damn thing in the first
He
place.
never did.
It was a means to an
He
end
never
kind of
did,
thing.
man. Remember how his girlfriend saw the fish turn to skeletons, and she was like, "Nigga, that was good catfish," and she just screamed.
First off, did you
That was dinner. No.
Did you love the effects for the freaking fish turning into bones? Again,
Yep.
Yeah.
kudos to the 1950s. You had to do what you had to do.
You had
It
to
worked.
cut.
It
That
worked.
transition, them scene
How much you want to
transitions.
bet they did that when they said, "Okay, this one we're gonna make the transitions. Hurry up, get your hands in there, get those fish out there,
Get them out now. Get them out now.
They didn't even have to do all that. It was just more.
I know they
of-
didn't have to do all that.
It was just more of, hey, let's bring like here's the fish, like here's the fish tank with the real fish. Slide them out of the way, bring in that same fish tank, and then immediately just start dropping the bones.
And we're good to go.
And considering how effective that oxygen destroyer really is, like this
the legacy.
thing kills oxygen in water and liquefies anything that's in it.
The legacy of that fucking weapon is crazy in lore of Godzilla.
Yeah, the lore, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
nuts.
that shit eventually evolves, and you get Destroyer, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
You get Godzilla's version of Doomsday, which is like, god damn it.
And I think either before or after that, you got Space Godzilla, which was even worse.
I mean, but them
I
using
love telling people like the origin, like what the fuck is Space Godzilla? I'm like, which origin do you want? You're like, what?
I know,
Like,
right?
he
Which
literally
one?
has two origins in the same movie.
I feel
Which
Godzilla
one
is
do
like
you
Godzilla is like DC Comics and stuff. It's like Superman is like, well, which Superman are you talking about here? It's like Godzilla is like, well, which Godzilla are you talking about here? Because
Man, you talking the 1990s Godzilla. Okay, that's a whole different type of continuity.
There's at least four eras worth of original Japanese Godzilla.
I mean, but that's how Japan rolls anyway.
Like,
because even
the
on
50, like from 54, I would say 54, the Showa era was from 54 all the way to 75.
Yep.
And even then Godzilla changed over the course of those movies. Because think about it. After this movie was Godzilla Raids Again, and in that one they just covered him in ice and he stayed there for like 7 years.
Yeah, it's like, oh, drop him in glacier. Okay, cool.
Just blow up a whole bunch of just blow up a whole bunch of ice and snow and shit. Just cover him in it. Let him freeze.
I mean, but it's crazy too because like Godzilla, it is much like Kamen Rider. Super Sentai is the only one that doesn't do the eras and stuff, but Kamen Rider and Godzilla are the two, and Ultraman, they're like the three properties that they go by era. So it's kind of like, oh, you like Kamen Rider? Well, which era? Showa era? Tewa era? All these. So Godzilla is the same way. It's the only difference is I think Godzilla is the only one that it reboots itself in each era. So it's like, I think because didn't the 80s Godzilla, they kind of like reach back to this version of Godzilla?
Yeah, and I think, what was it? Yeah, after the 70s, the 80s version of Godzilla, he became a villain again.
Yeah.
Like from the 80s all the way up to like all throughout the 90s.
Yeah, the millennium.
Pretty much until Godzilla Final Wars, Godzilla was always a villain.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was like, hey kids, your favorite Godzilla is evil now, so have fun with
And
that.
then you get Godzilla Final Wars where he OCVs everybody from Godzilla's Rogues Gallery.
I mean,
So you know what, hey, Eris, I meant to ask you one question. What was the response from all the Godzilla movies that just came out from America? What was the response from Japan with that? I don't think I ever asked you that question.
Which I'm glad you did ask me, because when I was over there, Jose just dropped.
Oh shit. Well, he'll hop back in.
Anyway, so the response from Japan was, if I remember correctly, 2014, Japan actually gave America its props.
Yeah, they actually liked that one. The juiced up Godzilla.
They legit liked it, but at the same time, they said, "Oh, America, you you guys actually made a good Godzilla movie, and we enjoyed it.
That's what made them make shit. That's what made them make Shin Godzilla.
No. Like Chris, you didn't let me finish. Oh, you guys actually made a pretty good Godzilla movie. Here's some sake. Hold that real quick. We put together Shin Godzilla. But see, we don't just put together Shin Godzilla. No. We're going to put out a Godzilla convention in 2014, the same year that you guys put out your movie, just to get everybody's interest back in the Godzilla. We hold in the Yokohama, which was like the last big Godzilla movie location of them shooting, which is where the original Godzilla set is, by the way. And then on top of that, we show off the trailer, including the statue, like a real lifelike statue of Shin Godzilla. And they did all this. So in other
words, they would do what anybody else who was an original artist, seeing their stuff being put out there. Oh, I like it. I like it. I really love it. Now let me give you some original shit that y'all fuck niggas can't get. I don't think that's shade. I think that's just business. Like
it's doing that. It's perfect business. It's perfect business. They use the publicity of the American film to jumpstart interest in Shin Godzilla, and it worked because when I saw it, of course, my initial reaction was, I do not like this version of Shin Godzilla. Like, I'm standing here looking at this thing going, I'm not feeling it. It looks weird. Like, his eyes were just goofy as shit to me. I just could not get over that. No. Hold on, Chris. No, D, you want to, like, your kids want to talk about 54 being derp? Show them Shin Godzilla. There you go.
Okay. I think I will, man.
My thing is that, like, my thing about this whole thing is, they go with the depth charges, which I'm like, well, that's a lot of naval people over there that got killed. But then, like,
unnecessarily.
Unnecessarily.
I was about to say unnecessarily.
And then, like, the fence idea, I'm just like, that's a lot of resources for a fence. What's that going to do? Like, you think he's like a fucking toddler where he's like, all right, he'll stay behind the fence. He ain't going to leave it. And I'm like, that's not going to work.
Like, they really think that a lizard that survived nuclear exposure,
30-meter tent,
that somehow electricity would stop them or even slow them down.
All because it was like, well, we feel his threat outweighs the studying of it. I'm like, you might want to study it.
Which goes right back to Professor Yamane saying, can we please study him? You guys are throwing everything you got at this monster, and it is not working. You are taking one of many. We're talking at least the next 50 years worth of L's. This movie is the first of many L's the Japanese military will take.
But the thing of it is too, like you and Jose were mentioning the whole thing with Serizawa and the oxygen destroyer. Serizawa's whole thing was like, hey, look, if we use this oxygen destroyer, the downside is that every other country is going to want this weapon for their own.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, never mind what I used it. Like, never mind what it was used for.
Oh, Jose lost power. That's why.
Oh. Yeah, I was just about to text that. Not say it out loud. Go ahead, Eric.
Sorry, my bad.
Well, hold on. I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to edit this part. What do y'all want to do?
Yeah, you can. We can pause this part, can we?
No. I'm talking about what you. No. What do you want to do? Do we want to just keep going without him? I mean, or what?
Keep going. We just had him on. I'll just make sure to go back to this part and just edit us saying this out. Horse and Pfeffer. There we go.
Yeah. But it's like that. I mean, let's be real. Serizawa made a point because I mean that's the history of man. Period. It is. Because I mean, look, the Americans made the nuke, right? That means every other country wants a nuke, and as soon as you make the oxygen destroyer, cool, you destroy Godzilla. Hey, Chris, everybody else wants an oxygen destroyer, so it's like, well, fuck.
Nah, not even that, Chris. Understand something. The oxygen destroyer that he used, he used an oxygen destroyer that was the size of a marble. Just for him to drop that into Tokyo Bay would turn it into a graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dog, that thing is the size of a marble. It's that powerful.
But did you like when he said all that, right? He was like, all right, I'll accept your plea. And then Serizawa turned around as soon as they made it. And now I will burn these notes and you will cry. Have fun.
Not just that. It wasn't just I'm gonna burn the notes. I
like how Serizawa flexed it. Okay.
Yeah. Sit here.
It wasn't even just that. He already stated it many times before in the in the scene that they had cut out, but then they put it back in later in the movie when he was telling Emiko, damn it, hold on. Yeah, I know. I'll change the battery in a sec. When he had told Emiko that that if anything were to happen, first of all, if this weapon was to be revealed, period, he knows for a fact that politicians of the world would be after him. You know, they would want to know everything about that weapon. They would literally turn it into a weapon instead of it's not even a kill switch, just a safety precaution, just something to use. You know, it was, this is like a last resort. You know, we tried everything else. Let's see what this does. Hell, he even thought, I don't even think Serizawa even thought this thing would even work.
I think that's always that little thing they always have in all these movies, is that scientists are doubted for no type of, like I said, for politics or whatever, and they know well, I have a way we can stop it, and it's like that thing's very powerful. Okay, yes, it is. Okay, now, no, it ain't meant for that. It's meant for this. Can you make it for this? Of course you can, but look, no, I didn't say that. Like, all scientists hate for their creation to be something like Einstein. Everybody said anything about Einstein because it turned into the nuclear bomb. You know what I mean? Everybody's scared of that shit. You know,
the thing,
your thing is going to create the next big thing that's going to destroy everybody.
But it also pulls back to the scene much earlier in the movie. Remember when Professor Yamane and all the other scientists that were around him were talking about, we should study it. You know, we should research this, based on all the information that we picked up off of seeing Godzilla for the first time. Let's look into this some more. And, before we try to announce anything, politicians started politicking. Public starts going into panic mode. You cut right back to the scientists. Why all of them are immediately giving everybody the disapproving stare.
I mean, you know what it reminds me of?
I like how the Japanese have always in their movies shamed their government for being greedy.
Did you notice that? No, but did you notice that? Did you notice that though? Like in the corner, all those scientists were just shaking their heads like, "This is some bullshit."
You know what this reminds? You know what it reminds me of? That scene in Jurassic Park where they're talking around that table, and Ian Malcolm's talking about, you had a good idea, blah blah blah. That whole line, right? That's what it reminds me of. It's like you have these scientists that are trying to be like, look, if we study Godzilla, there's a possibility we can gain some insight out of this that in the future could actually work in our advantage. Meanwhile, like I said, the government is just like, nah, just kill it. I'm like, but like, what is it? Shoot it. I'm like, but this doesn't help you guys. This doesn't benefit. What are we doing here? Like, no, don't do this. But then they would turn around and, like I said, they want the oxygen destroyer weapon. So it's like you don't want the scientists' help until they develop a weapon.
Well, the interesting thing about that is nobody was going to say anything about Serizawa until Emiko pretty much put everything out there on Front Street. Because he was the only one out of all the scientists that stayed quiet. Notice that when all the destruction was happening, I want to know, where the hell was your house at, sir?
Yo, if I was the only American there and stuff like that, as soon as I saw Godzilla, let me go ahead and get the plane up the fuck up out of here because I ain't trying to be around this shit.
It's like, real talk. I'm gonna stay over here with Patchy McGee because he's the only one that's not panicking.
You know what I think is interesting, and maybe that's probably why they never, because we, as the viewers are watching this and stuff, always found it funny that it's like, this is Japan's problem, but clearly we know Godzilla will eventually move to another country and go in that area. So it's like, when does this turn from Japan's issue to America to a world issue? At some point?
But it did. In Destroy All Monsters, it happened. See,
I barely remember Destroy All Monsters.
In Destroy All Monsters, Godzilla shows up in New York.
Okay.
Which was very weird because he just literally teleported from Tokyo to New York.
So you went from the Pacific and just swam through the Panama Canal and went back. Wow, that's a hell of a trip. That is a hell.
But then again, it makes sense because, again, going back to Professor Yamane, he mentioned that that Godzilla throughout history, throughout time, has stayed underground. Like in the depths of the ocean, there's like
Earth's crust and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of tunnels and caves and stuff that he could hide in, which made me think of the hollowed out Earth in King of Monsters, which is how he's able to move, from one place to another quickly.
Well, if there's anything that I know about watching National Geographic every once in a while, we talk about exploring space, and then people are like, we should explore the ocean. No, I don't want to explore the ocean. No.
Remember, they did say we've only discovered like what 12% of the ocean.
Look.
At most,
after watching that Jason Statham movie, The Meg, with the freaking giant shark that was like beneath like the bottom of the ocean, and knowing that there are like giant squids down there and all that stuff, it's like it wouldn't be a far stretch to be like there might be something, maybe not Godzilla level, but something that's still pretty big. And it can only live in the depths of the ocean. Like so it's not surprising. It's like, yeah, of course Godzilla would do that, because that's a territory that
you would think there's a sea creature the size of a small country.
Could be, maybe.
Again, we have no idea.
We don't have no idea, and I don't want to look. I've seen maybe because I've seen too many sci-fi movies. I'd rather us just not touch that and just let it sleep for as long as we can. All right, don't
disturb it. Leave it alone.
Let's just let us fish like we normally do, and we'll be good to go. Don't even go down underneath the waters and stuff. You want to send a probe down there, I guess, but no, don't need those problems and stuff.
The last thing, listen. The last thing we need to do is send a probe down there. It disturbs whatever it finds, and that thing locates the tracking device and recovers that shit back to us. But shows up in our country and starts wreaking havoc, all because we sent a damn probe.
But what's crazy about this movie is that like it ends with them using the oxygen destroyer and it kills Godzilla. But Serizawa was like, no, not Serizawa, but Serizawa dies because he basically takes the secret to his death. But like what was interesting is that Yamane was basically like, yo, like if we keep doing these nuclear tests though, we're gonna get another Godzilla at some point. So this ain't over yet.
Which by the way, that is how you do good sequel baiting in 1954.
Yeah, it's like, hey, there might be another Godzilla that'll come if we keep continuing doing nuclear tests. So,
sure enough, another one showed up in the sequel literally a year later.
Godzilla raids again,
which introduced our very first additional monster, because we were treated to not one but two kaiju, and that was Anguirus.
Yeah,
who is the second oldest kaiju in the Godzilla universe.
Yeah, I mean it's like I said, but the legacy of like Godzilla 1954 though, it's like I remember, it's funny. The first Godzilla I saw, I did see the Raymond Burr one years ago when I was a kid on AMC, and then I remember TNT ran
TNT Monsterverse.
Yeah, TNT Monsterverse. They actually ran the OG Godzilla, minus the non Raymond Burr version.
You remember that?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
remember the Monsterverse thing.
It was the non Raymond Burr version and stuff, dubbed over and okay dub for that time period. Okay, and I actually enjoyed that one more than the Raymond Burr one, because for some reason it's like, I don't know, for me, like when I watched the Raymond Burr one, something felt off, and I didn't even know anything about the original one. It just, something just felt off about it. And then when you watch that, when you watch Gojira, it's like, oh, they cut a lot of stuff out of here. Holy crap.
The Raymond Burr version is like the YouTube. It's like the YouTube, those home YouTube videos that people do where they put themselves in movies.
Yeah. You remember when people put themselves in Forrest Gump?
Yeah,
kind of recreate the special effects for that movie.
Yeah,
that kind of shit.
So I figured it out, Eris. You are actually right. I had Gojira on DVD. I had it and I never watched it actually. Because I remember one of these old guys at work, this older doctor at work, he gave it to me. He's like, hey, man, you want to watch some of that old school shit? Because I told him I was watching Kurosawa. Because for whatever reason, he was one of the 38-year-olds who's like, yeah, I be watching Japanimation shit. I'm like, yeah, man, whatever. Man, Samurai Champloo good. What you know about that? I know Muga's a fucking beast, and Jan, real talk, I mean that nigga gay, but I think he cool as fuck.
I mean,
whatever.
But you know,
I remember he gave me that, and he was one of the he actually pointed me out on a film that's one of my favorite films called Samurai. It stars my boy God, forgot his name. Guy's name anyway, but he plays Musashi. He is basically the life of Musashi. It's a 3-part movie. He gave me that. He gave me Gojira. He gave me something else. I never watched Gojira though, and I remember I had it, and my father-in-law ended up watching it before I did because, and I didn't know this. My father-in-law loved Godzilla. 1970s Godzilla is his shit. That was his slappers. The worst of the, in my opinion, the bad movies. God, him and Jaguar, he was two-handed it, bro. He loved those ones, man. He loved those. He was
this
small
movie,
monster one, which made me laugh because I was like, my father-in-law just watched that motherfucker. So he just that was kind of cool. That was very cool, man. I was sitting on that.
This movie did pretty big in Japan at the time and stuff. 183 million yen, which kind of transfers out to 1.6 million dollars in US and stuff. Really huge over there and stuff. I know in America when they released the edited version, it made like 2 million.
Decent money.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, which I think for that version that they did, it cost them, I think, was 100. I think the number that I saw was like 125,000 to do all the editing on it and stuff.
By the way, Chris, your camera froze.
Oh shit! Hold up.
Damn it. I hate when it looks like Jose is out because down there, it was a storm. And he's out for a while. That sucks. That really does suck. I don't think I mentioned this on the show to everybody when it comes to Jose. Jose is a big part of how 3 Black Geeks even got here. He was on his show, Villains Never Sleep. They were the first ones to reach their hands out to us, were they?
Yeah, they were.
They were the first ones because after that, that's when we met Mo. That's when we met John. That's when we met Lewis. And those are the people that kind of took us on. All of our white older brothers actually helped us all out. But everywhere we went, and I do not bullshit that, everywhere we went, I always made sure where Jose and them at, make sure they're close to us, make sure their name is out there. I knew when we were popping at one point, I was telling this to Jose, I was like, I'm putting your shit out there. Every time y'all put up a show, I'm making sure I'm posting that out. Because, dog, you listen to us and give a fuck about us. When we started off in Chris's room. God, what was the first song called? Potomatic or some shit like that? Where we did our first podcast at, yeah, but whatever. But Jose was a huge part of 3 Black Geeks, man. And the shit that really kind of pisses me off, man. That you ain't finished.
It's a damn trash ass Spectrum in the comments. I mean, but like, man. But it's kind of crazy. It's just the legacy of this movie. It's like, because again, you know, looking at the research and stuff, it's like, man, I knew racism was a big thing in Hollywood, but the fact that they was like, yeah, we really like your monster, but we have to cut out all them Japanese stuff, and it's funny too because we talked about how the American audience took to anime. Mm-hmm. And how it was like, oh, what's that Japanimation stuff? Ugh. And you know, now it's like, oh shit, anime, it's so cool and wacky, and it's like,
well, everything takes its time. Everything takes its time.
I mean, come on, you're talking. You gotta give, well, not even credit, but just give them some kind of respect for the. You know what? No, I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna soften that shit. Fuck that. First, here's some embarrassing shit. Season 1 Pokemon, very first time it comes to America. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, I take that back. Not Pokemon, Sailor Moon. It was Sailor Moon. The very first time Sailor Jupiter introduced her little lunchbox to Sailor Moon, right? It's clearly rice balls. America with the disrespect called donuts.
Brock and his rice donuts in Pokemon.
Yeah, it's rice donut. Jelly donuts.
And look,
had the nerve to call them jelly donuts.
The funniest shit ever is seeing anime weebs lose their shit like, it's not fucking donuts, it's rice. I'm like, I know, man. I know. We really do suck here in America on that.
No, it's one thing. It's one thing when anime fans go sub or dub. You know what? Fuck it. That's never going nowhere. Shit that will always get me is that, dog, this came out in 92. Let it go. Let it go.
I mean, this isn't like, a product from Japan wasn't popular and obviously wasn't popular enough that they don't even have the original scripts anymore.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing of it is, I can understand why Godzilla appealed to him because, I mean, wasn't around this time we had up to that point, Frankenstein and Dracula and the Wolfman were pretty much, and Creature of the Black Lagoon was kind of like out.
I think also
those movies
didn't Rodan come out before? Not Rodan. I mean
Rodan didn't come out till the 60s.
No, what was the other? There was another monster that was out at the same time as Godzilla. What was that? Who was that?
No,
that's what I meant to say. Not Rodan.
It wasn't Gamera.
You want to say not Gamera? Gamera didn't come out till the 60s either.
It was like
started with a G, didn't it?
It was like basically a generic dinosaur type.
He wasn't
creature.
with Toho. He was a different monster, though.
Yeah, it was
Gigantus the fire breathing monster.
It was a Gigantus.
It was a generic monster.
Not Gamera. Not Gamera.
Not Baragon.
Not Baragon. No, hell no. God, Mystery Science Theater did a movie on this motherfucker. Fuck. But I remember like they always had an interest in monster movies because remember at the time in the 1950s,
King Kong had already came out.
What was really popular was also UFO movies and all the rest of that, man.
Yeah,
a lot of people like they strange beings from outer space movies started showing up and all the rest of that shit. Yeah, so yeah, I think it was just a matter of time the American audience is trying to get to it. I think what it really got was when they finally released it and it had the reception that it did. And it bridged the gap that wasn't there. And I know how history likes to make it look like, well, Hollywood was always open to it. No, the fuck y'all wasn't. No, y'all wasn't. Like Hollywood doesn't react until there's money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't realize the schism was that strong for why they put Raymond Burr in. I was like, oh shit, like wow.
It happened. That's how it is. See, here's the funny part. Remember when we were doing "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker," and we was talking about how hard it was for Kid and Ivory Wayans to put it out at the time because they really thought that black leads couldn't do nothing. And it's like the decade before, you had all these movie theaters around the country that was like, "Give me Dolomite, give me Dolomite." The blacks are coming out for that crap, and yet 10 years later, they're like, Negroes don't watch that.
Because they thought that's because they thought we ran out of steam.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think even with the when it comes to the Japanese putting their stuff out, of course, you was going to have that stigmatism. We just got done having a war with these people. There's a lot of people who are super racist. Like, you could be Japanese. We're done being mad at you. But actually, better yet, you could be a Vietnamese, have nothing to do with it, and they'll call you a Jap. That's how racist white people were at that time. If you looked Asian, you were getting it.
But here's the flip side of what makes that whole argument dumb, D. After World War II, America gave Japan a shitload of money and resources.
Pretty much like, we're sorry.
Yeah.
Here's the historical context about that. They did it. America did it. It was actually one of the right moves you do, especially after that devastating name. That was just I give it up for it. Come on, because it's war, nobody was right. But after you go to the war, you're supposed to do shit like that. Look, we wrecked your country, dog. There's nothing we can do. We got to be friends. We got to do something. There's got to be a shit. We just made two cities a parking lot. And real talk, I think you can finally walk through Hiroshima without getting nothing. So you know what I'm saying?
No, and what makes it messed up is when they dropped the two bombs, America didn't have to do it because Japan was already losing the war as is.
Did it.
And America didn't have to do it.
Because we're assholes. That's why.
They really wanted. Here's the thing: America really wanted payback for Pearl Harbor, and I sat back. And Chris, you were with me. We watched a movie that made me say, "Huh? You know what, America?" I would have looked at Japan and would have said, "Now we're even." Midway,
yeah.
Let me tell you what,
I think here's the thing. War is an ugly period, man. And I think between the Japanese and Americans, it got personal. It got really because America never got hit like that. America went from being the white utopia. Let's just be real. That's what it was. The white utopia. All of a sudden, they hit an island, not the mainland. My God. Now, could you imagine what
America turned
niggas hit motherfucking San Francisco? Come on, bro.
And America turned into Jordan during the Last Dance. I took that personally.
Oh, we took that.
Now here's
America
the thing.
did, and that's why I say that's kind of hard because after that, of course, people are still feeling some type of way, man. Of course, people are. It's hard to. You remember when they tried to put out all those Middle Eastern stuff? Good example. Remember when Al Jazeera was just trying to be in America? They're a good
Mhm.
news network, a really good news network. They're better than CNN. You know what everybody said? They're funding terrorists. No, we're
No, we're
not.
not.
You show the terrorists. You do too.
I'm like, we're
Al
reporting
Jazeera
the
is one of the biggest
news.
networks in the world. Why you don't want that in America?
Like, suck my dick. It's
Like, we're
dude,
reporting
That's
the
what I'm saying.
news.
If that shows you how wild it is, man. Shit like that. So I believe that mountain to get there. Yeah, we gotta put Raymond Burr in here being monotone half the goddamn time. They spent money, Eris, on makeup to make
I
it look
know.
like he was in that bomb.
I know.
I mean, it looked like he was like he got ran over by Godzilla.
They
They
took
put
a
makeup on that nigga.
they
for
took
that
a
shit.
set. They put him in a room. No, sorry. That rubble that he was in was literally a room that they just slapped together.
here's the kicker about this, right?
Shout out to DK for this. Shout out to DK. How much you want to bet all the Japanese people we seeing are really Korean and Chinese? Like, you wrong. You probably right.
Yo, here's the kicker though. So
All these English speaking Japanese people.
so
Characters that didn't even exist. But what were you saying, Chris?
So Subarara, initially when they made Gojira, they were presented with, should we do stop motion? Kind of like King Kong, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, no, we're going to do something different. And Subarara was like, no, we're going to put a guy in a suit. We're going to do suitmation. We're going to put in the suit and we're going to do that. And he stuck to his guns on that because the only reason why they didn't do stop motion because it was more expensive.
It was definitely expensive. Because if I'm not mistaken, King Kong was done in 1933.
Yeah, 33.
And that one was stop motion.
Yep.
And with Godzilla being the game changer,
imagine Godzilla being stop motion? That would be weird.
It'd be really weird. It really wouldn't work.
In
fact, hold on. Make it worse. Just to make it worse. You want to know how bad it would really look, guys? You remember that scene in King Kong versus Godzilla, that one fight that they show when it's literally puppets moving back and forth?
Boy, the puppet scene is one of the greatest scenes in all of cinema history.
I'll tell you what's crazy. I'll tell you what's crazy too, right? So Subarara does the whole suitmation thing, right? Cut to the mid-70s. Jeff Bridges and Jessica Tandy are in a King Kong movie where they actually had a King Kong guy in a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, let me tell you something. That was the weirdest King Kong movie I ever seen. Because first off, guy in suit King Kong is creepy as shit. Oh, it's creepy. Oh, it is. Like, Godzilla in the suit, it doesn't come off as creepy because of how they film it and stuff, and you're not getting close up of Godzilla's face like that and stuff.
He's always moving slow.
I also want to put it out there as no knock on the suit. You're restricted in that suit too.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to know how restricted you are in that suit? The suit actor, his head, like Chris, if you tilt your head to the left real quick,
my left, your left.
Your left. Like if you notice,
other way, Chris.
Yeah, if you noticed right there under Godzilla's mouth, like where it opens,
that's his head.
That's where the suit actor's head is.
That's the last part right there.
Holy shit.
Yeah. The suit actor's head was always under Godzilla's head.
I mean, man, that shit like this also like, hey man, check this shit out, bro.
I mean, but you have to do that and stuff because even the Power Ranger suits, like the way they had those people in those monster suits and stuff to fight the Rangers to make it look good, it's like you need some sort of like, I need to see what the fuck I'm doing, get some.
You know what? I want to know how that one dude. I want to know how that one dude who was the pig. I want to know how he did. That was just a ball. I want to know how he did that shit.
That was a ball.
If you watch the episode where he gobbles up the weapons, you notice when the mouth is wide open and shit, you can probably see his eyes inside the fucking mouth when it opens and shit. Those suits, hey, look, they had to do what they did. Like I said earlier at the start of this, when you watch Ultra Q, they reused this Godzilla for this Godzilla suit, that actual Godzilla suit, for one of the monsters. I swear to God, you guys need to watch the episode. I don't know if you saw what.
Please tell me what episode number that is.
I forgot what episode number it is. It's literally Godzilla with a flower around its neck and stuff, and they just put a whole bunch of stuff to make it look like it's not Godzilla. But I'm like, nigga, that's Godzilla.
It's Godzilla. No matter how you slice
it. No matter how you try to do it, it's like that's Godzilla. Because even Ultraman 66 they used the same Godzilla suit for a different monster. At least that one looks slightly different to where it's like, okay, that's not Godzilla, but I can see where the Godzilla is at in that face. So it's crazy, man. They reused them suits till the wheels fell off.
I always think
something
I always thought it was really impressive anyway that you will be in a suit like that, and come on, you shooting for hours and all the rest of that shit. And even at that, like I said, and I laugh at my sons as much as they laugh at the effects of that. I was like, son, if they did this today, it will be expensive as hell. You're like, why? I'm like, well, there's 2 ways of going about it, son. Well, there's 3 ways of going about it. Either A, you can do it like CGI. Yeah, you can pull it off. Or you can do practical effects. I'm gonna be real with you. Ooh, that's expensive.
That would have been crazy expensive.
Blowing up a model now is way more expensive than it was back then.
That is exactly how they get away with it now.
Not only is it expensive, but you only got one shot at that.
That's how they get away. That's how they get away with it with Ultraman, because it's like they still got a guy in a suit, in the monster suit and the Ultraman suit, but clearly they probably CGI in the buildings afterwards and post.
You have to.
So that way, if you do the explosion, it's like, all right, I can believe that's a set, but it's like, okay, it's CGI. So clearly they had to cut some corners.
You have to do the mixture of practical and CGI, especially with these monster movies, to make them look anything. Even if you're going to CGI anything in there, you got to have at least half of that goddamn set there. At least you flying backwards, that has to be a thing. We ain't CGI that crap in.
But also,
we put blood in there. But
also, like you guys said, the suit actors, they did get hot. I think the suit actor did pass out a couple times in that suit because it got to, I think, 140 degrees in that suit.
This wasn't, this isn't like what's his name? This isn't like Dead Mouse, where he's got fans inside of his mouse head.
Oh, that's how the 89 Turtles movie, they had to put fans inside those turtle suits in order to have it for the suit actors, in order for it to be comfortable.
Yeah. Speaking of, you know what? And Chris, thank you for bringing up the Ninja Turtle suits because I've seen them show up on eBay, and woof, those costumes have been through wars.
Yeah,
they look like a lot of them look like pure nightmare fuel.
That's why I love Cowabunga. It is. I love that meme because the way it looks like, Cowabunga.
They're falling apart.
Let me tell you something. If I'm
like Donatello. I love that one because it's like, hey man, hey, what's up, shorty? My man trying to holler at you.
Let me tell you something. You want to talk nightmare fuel? Imagine getting up in the middle of the night. You just see a fucking turtle figure and shit. You turn on the light, and it's like, shit.
Just the turtle. That one decayed turtle suit in the corner.
I gotta be real with you. D played and watched way too much. Knows way too much of the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. You ain't having that shit in my house, nah, dog. No.
You take that evilness out of my house.
You get that thing up out of here, man.
But I just appreciate.
You want to hear the fucked up part? Keep the splinter one in here. That looks right. Shut the fuck up. Keep the splinter one. You keep that one. That's a treasure. Kevin Cash was in the.
No, but I would say this:
the voice of Elmo.
The legacy of this movie, I love that even to this day, it's appreciated by a lot of film people and stuff. From the casual to the pretentious and stuff. It's like, it's a thing of beauty. It's great. It's awesome and stuff.
This was, and the thing is, this movie wasn't even. They never put this movie out as a monster movie. It was really put out as a disaster film. It's a disaster film with an anti-nuke message.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's be real. A lot of those movies that came out then had the message.
And that's what a lot of people are to this day are saying. It was one of anti-nuke message, post-war and all the rest of that. Because what was that one movie where the guy came to Earth, he was about to blow up the Earth because of because the world was. Remember, Keanu Reeves did the
Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah, it was the same thing. Like, I'm going to destroy man.
Because you guys are
violent. I need to walk with you to know how you are. Like man, kill us now, man. Shit. Dog. Now the reason why I was like, and here's if you let's show them the world. Hey, don't show them that what we did to the black people. Don't show them that shit.
Listen. All you gotta
show
do,
that nigga
D. Here's how we survive. All right, follow me. We just show them that we got the National Harbor and a Whole Foods. We're good.
Dude. This is because if you do that, this is why Age of Ultron, the MCU movie, happened. Because Ultron was like, oh shit, slaves. Oh man, you motherfuckers are wilding. Let's go ahead and drop a rock on this earth, man. Y'all guys are fucking wild. You done. Everybody said
No. Soda sopa.
That's why I laughed at that movie, because it's like when you really look at that film, it's like Ultron really got on the internet. Was like, yeah, let me take a look at this. War, slavery. Oh, y'all motherfuckers are No,
Y'all wildin'.
Y'all wildin' day, brother. All right, go ahead and drop this rock.
Lord, man. Like, so let me get this shit straight. Y'all want to live. Have y'all seen what y'all did in the last 100-something years? Have you done something? Hey, yo, Tony, I know you not talking. I know.
Look, nukes, sir.
Hey, y'all see Tony? Y'all see Tony? He breaks out of Afghanistan, and now he thinks he's woke.
But I mean, wasn't Mothra? I mean, Eris is the monster guru. Wasn't Mothra kind of one of those like anti-war type messages kind of thing too?
Something like that.
Sort of, a little bit.
Mothra was always looked at like definitely a hero character, because Mothra was always a symbol
for the kids.
Of peace. Not even just for the kids, but Mothra was always like a symbol of peace.
Yeah, I just know that was the era of when they made these type of movies. It was a message attached to it and stuff. So
yeah, a lot of the sci-fi was like that. A lot of the short.
Jose said the name of the monster. Yeah, Jose said the name of the monster. Monster Girasse.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, that was
it's like a lot of the war, like I said, it was a lot of it was anti-war. A lot of it was like allegories for the war and all that. Good example of it, like what really came out of the war was Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone was a big thing that came out of the war. There was a lot of media that was made right after that shit. Like one of the best stories was made post-war, and that was Lord of the Rings. Tolkien made that after World War One. And a lot of that crap was like him in the trenches, just like, yo, I'm thinking of this fantasy world. There's fucking elves. There's motherfucking golems. This old nigga falls down this big ass pit, and in midair he's like he's like fighting a ball log hand to hand and shit. There's these two little things. This thing called a shelob. Yeah, that's like a big ass spider, right? Hey, yo, JJ, chill, nigga.
You say that, it just reminds me.
Chill with all that shit, man. Like Helm's Deep, like the Battle of Helm's Deep. That was like Tolkien, like, nigga, I was there that day, man. There was a whole lot of dead bodies, bro. Like that inspired him to make such a big ass movie. And with Japan pretty much taking one of the biggest L's in war history, of course it was going to breed all this shit. A lot of their media, a reason why a lot of their media works in America, because it does work on a lot of America's sins. And a lot of it works on grief and guilt of like, yo, we did that to y'all and all the rest of that. Like every time I hear the anti-war message in Akira, I was like, that kind of ain't what it was about, but all right.
No, D. I think D. The correct terminology is he's out of line, but he makes a point.
He makes a point. I mean that ain't what they were setting out to do.
It's like he's out of line, but he is right.
I mean, if you
like a lot of their media was always set on like their whole country, like countries restarting or countries that are on the tip of breaking down and restarting and all the rest of that. A lot of their good stories are like a lot of good stories, like Ghost of the Shell was like that, where it was like there's this big everybody was like against like the whole government is against everybody being free and shit, stuff like that. It's always something like that. The Japanese this is what happens when you get a nuke dropped on you. You see shit differently. Also, we didn't like let people in the country for a long ass time. That made us weird too.
I mean, you want to talk about a movie that, I mean, look, this is beating the horse over dead. Folks, don't watch Grave of the Fireflies because you're going to be crying your ass off at the end like, oh, God.
You say, no, real talk, Chris, you say people will be crying if they watch Grave of the Fireflies. Let's keep it a stack. Some of y'all got a little misty-eyed at the end of Godzilla when everybody gave Serizawa that the 21-gun salute.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Well, why? I'm a human. That's why. That was a powerful.
That was one. That was a straight up noble sacrifice. He
Yes, it
knew.
was.
He knew off rip that the moment I show this to the world,
It's a wrap.
it's a wrap. Everybody's coming after me, and even if I burned up all my notes, who's to say? Because I'm human, I'm weak. I could be coerced into making a weapon.
CIA kidnaps his ass and waterboards him to get
Oh
information.
man, KGB. We heard you made a hydrogen bomb, made Godzilla go away. You make America go away.
You make America. Well,
No.
you make America go away.
See,
Yeah, absolutely. No, D, stop it. No, I wasn't. I was not going to say it.
See that I feel like the asshole now.
I was not going to say it. I paused so I could say, drink this vodka.
Drink vodka. It makes you
like have this vodka.
It makes you strong. We also like this. We also like American. We also like Nikolai Volkov. He's good for Russia. I'm just kidding. He's a terrible wrestler. He's terrible wrestler. We like Hulk Hogan.
Yo, I swear to God, but I mean, it is kind of like one of those you were kind of doing the big boss at the end of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah, you were full on salute, teary-eyed, like
there's something in my throat.
Like this man sacrificed, and he said it himself. I have no problem. Like I am willing to die.
Oh, he was ready.
To not be forced into turning my life's work into a weapon. And as he said, just like Professor Nominee, which is why I love the fact that they're so alike, is he wanted to continue studying oxygen from every angle into where I could use this into, something that benefits mankind and not just another weapon of politicians.
But that's the nature, even to this day, it is.
And that's the nature of scientists, period. Every time scientists come up with something, they're like,
how can we make money off this?
See, here's the thing that's fucked up, right? Scientists would be like, I just created something. This is terrible. This is awful. This would kill like millions of people. No, I need to keep researching this. I gotta fix, I gotta tweak this. We gotta fix this. This is definitely, this ain't it. Okay. This is not it. Income politician. Kills millions of people. How can we weaponize this? I want it right now.
Hey, I ain't saying that is true. No, I'm saying it's true. Hey, so you mean to tell me that shit can only move indoors? Hey, how we get that in America, my nigga?
I mean, but let's be real too.
Hey, you got it. Hey, man, cough in this box real quick.
Let's be real. It's like that shit in Days Gone, with the fucking virus and that one and shit. And it's like, yeah, the government kind of fucked up and do that and stuff. Even The Last of Us, even though the government isn't involved in that one, it's like, oh, the government fucked around with shit.
The Last of Us goes the original Godzilla way, where it wasn't America's fault. No, see, it was nature. See, nature turned on us. That's why Godzilla was made, because nature turned on us. Could be because man, including black and white and all of us, we're pieces of shit. We're pieces of shit. Because here's the thing. Regardless of what religion you back up, you know what it says in your text? Take care of the earth. And you know where we go? Hey man, don't we go to heaven at least, nigga?
I mean, look at.
Chris,
there was that other game too. You said The Last of Us. There was another game that was like that.
You said Days Gone.
Yeah, we already said Days Gone. Oh no, it was a movie. I Am Legend. KV virus.
Yeah.
I Am Legend actually, which was created post-war II. That's another same thing.
The Omega Man. Yeah, the Omega Man was the original one that was kind of like post-war too, and it's like,
Yeah, they always have these things like, Logan's Run was kind of like that, but that was a little bit different.
That was more dystopian.
So I can't really go into that. Yeah,
that was more dystopian. By the way, D, I had mentioned this. I think you were off at the time. I was telling CJ when Professor Yamane said, if we continue nuclear tests, another Godzilla will come. I said, that is how you do good sequel baiting in 1954.
Yes, you did. Because back then, only thing that would do it is if the movie is halfway good and the producer's already seen it, they'll do this. All right, throw up the text. Godzilla will return or some crap like that.
Now I will say this.
And the thing is, the movie was bold enough to just say.
That's how you see.
But the movie,
then,
the movie was bold enough to say the end.
Yeah,
but still, it's I'm fine with it.
So Godzilla, if you can find multiple versions of this on Blu-ray and stuff. Now, if you're really feeling frisky and want to spend a lot of money, you can find the Criterion Collection, which has the whole Showa era from Godzilla, Godzilla Raids Again, King Kong versus Godzilla, all the way through Terror of Mechagodzilla, and it's very much worth it because it's in good quality.
You're
and
getting
all the extras.
15. You get 15
the
Godzilla
Criterion
movies
label too. And if you are cheap about it, luckily the Criterion label has most of their shit on HBO Max, and all of that shit from Godzilla is on HBO Max.
I think all of it's on. Yeah, all of it's on HBO Max.
But it was.
Yeah, all of it is on HBO Max.
All of it. And it's the Criterion cut of it too.
And even
that's what I'm saying. That's not bad.
And even if you don't have it, you can always just go to the Criterion Collection app and watch all the movies there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we always talk about the Criterion label. I finally laugh because I'm about to watch this, and all of a sudden I see that little circle, and then you see the little C that comes on. I forgot. We finally did a Criterion movie, guys! Yeah, we finally did one.
Every time we get
hey, can y'all do Color Purple? That's cool, man. Yeah.
Every time we get Criterion Works, I just look at them and say, you know what? You guys always love to do classy pictures.
Yeah.
Like you preserve these classy movies, and you repackage them and you put them out with a whole bunch of extra stuff that no other distributor has ever packaged and got the nerve to charge premium for this shit.
I'm gonna say two mediocre black movies that I think deserve to be on the Criterion label, and I'm not playing with you. Bulworth and Baps. Now you're probably saying, why Baps? I got a feeling you look at the background and all the rest of that shit, they'll be like, this is actually a pretty good DVD, man. This is actually pretty damn good. like they have this whole interview with Robert Thompson and Halle Berry. It's very in depth.
I mean, it's like, what more can you go in depth on? It's like, all right, I guess.
First of all, no, Chris.
That'd be the movie that'd be like, yo.
No. Screw that. I got one even better for you, D. See, check this out, Chris. You asked what more could you do? Here's how you make it better. A 2021 interview with Halle Berry and Pierre.
That's fair.
Reminiscing on Baps.
That is fair.
Get a current year interview, not a lost interview that's been lost to the ether, for the last couple of decades. A brand new one.
That is true.
I feel bad. Because I said this, and I say this because Pierre went to my high school, so technically he ain't no better than me. So when I heard about Pierre, I'm like, Pierre still do shit like, yeah, he do. He got this podcast and all that. He still got like funny. He's really informative, yada 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 yada. He's like a low grade DL Hughley. I heard that, and I was like, yellow motherfucker. I say that because I don't like Pierre, but hey, you hear, man. You hear. He was a part of that big group of DC comics that came out. Him, Wanda Sykes, Tommy Davidson, Dave Chappelle. He's a part of that group. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't that I can
say. Shout outs to all of our childhoods for growing up with Godzilla movies, and shout outs to Criterion Collection for keeping that legacy strong. Because Chris, you remember San Diego Comic-Con 2016. I interviewed the representatives at Toho.
And I asked one in 2017.
Yeah, you're right. 2017. My bad.
Yeah, 2017.
When I asked, when I asked them,
I'm sorry.
Remember, I asked them, is it possible that we can get all? I'm talking about the original Godzilla movies with the original Japanese audio, English subtitle, yada yada yada. Like, let's get the entire collection of Godzilla movies, like from 54 all the way to Shin Godzilla. This is Godzilla's 60th birthday. You guys got to do us a solid and release the entire collection. Open the freaking vault. Give us everything.
Got to.
And I remember the rep was like, like
Yeah, it
he
feels like
literally,
there's a lot
dude,
of
he hit
internal
me,
politics on that one. It's
bro.
like,
He hit me. He gave me the Tony Montana response. He hit me with the, oh man, we had some problems with that.
I mean,
homie."
Oh man,
my
man.
man, literally.
You know how much Jet Jaguar costs? Don't even answer that question. You won't even know.
Yeah,
You won't
and
even
here I am
know.
sitting here looking like Sosa going, Toho, what happened?
Man, look, we tried to do the subtitles, and a French nigga did it, and they were like, "Oh, look, it'll be out like next year, bro. You be good."
So the closest we got outside of the 80s and 90s Godzilla movies is the Criterion Collection. So so shout out to that. Hopefully Criterion can get a hold of the rest of that collection and put that out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like I say, even the current one with the 15 movies is definitely worth it if you want to spend the money for it. And stuff.
I think it will be. It will be a little bit tough, Harris, because do you now? I'm not really sharp on this, but I noticed that the 80s and 90s Godzilla movies, whoever owned them in America? Did anybody ever own them in America? I don't remember even being released in America.
No.
Nah.
A lot of them
Like
weren't.
even Shin Godzilla, I know you can get it, but
Yeah, you can get it, but no, it's different.
You see what I'm saying,
See, Shin
right?
Godzilla. Now, here's the funny thing about Shin Godzilla. You can get Shin Godzilla right now because all Funimation has to do is just say, hi, Toho, can we get that?
Yeah,
Can we
I think
dub
you
that?
can get Shin Godzilla on Right Stuff, I believe.
Yeah, you can get it on Right Stuff.
Yeah, you can get it on Right Stuff. So
Hell, Shin Godzilla's
I
on.
know
Dude,
you
Shin
can get
Godzilla's
that.
on HBO Max.
yeah, but I'm just saying if you
it-
want the DVD
for
and
me,
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, just for me, it's kind of funny because I'd never seen none of the '90s Godzilla.
Like
I've never seen '90s Godzilla.
It's
before.
the
interesting.
it's the dumbest thing because those are like the movies that that I don't think ever got dubbed.
They well,
And that's probably why Criterion's like,
because the
you waiting on
90s
Toho,
ones,
nigga.
because that was like, because really technically the 90s one were part of the Heisei era, which was the Return of Godzilla, Godzilla versus Billante and King Ghidorah and all that stuff, and that was the one where you had the
Those are what I like to call those are honestly, guys, those Godzilla movies are what I like to call dramatic Godzilla.
Now it was dramatic because, to its credit, those movies actually had a very long form, overarching story.
They did,
which was interesting.
Like a lot of those movies actually like connected, like one after another.
Like it really, to be honest with you, it really jumped off at Godzilla versus King Ghidorah with the time travel and the Dorats and shit. And then it's like, all right. And then all of a sudden, King Ghidorah comes back as Mecha King Ghidorah. And then all
because of a time traveling girl.
Yeah, time traveling girl. And then it spilled over into Godzilla versus Mothra Part 2 again and shit. And then Mecha Godzilla came back again, and Space Godzilla destroyed. Yeah, it was weird. Time travel shenanigans.
By the way,
okay,
Jose,
that's kind of funny.
By the way, Jose, thank you very much. It was Sony.
Yep.
Thank you for mentioning that, Eris, with the time travel and all the rest of that, because how fucked up is it that even people in America, our version 98, oh man, it's garbage.
I mean, because
the time traveling, the plot is not being even challenged. That's a lot of fish. Oh, betrayal, nigga, get that shit. The fall.
Because it was fun. It was so funny.
You know what it is? I think nobody. And I say this, and we're past that bridge. Please listen to that episode. It's one of our funny ones. Only reason why I think Japanese really wrote it off because it wasn't
Godzilla to them, for one thing.
It was no. And let's think about it. It took America a long time to finally make Godzilla proper. But it's like when you look at that, of all the crap that Godzilla had done, even the Japanese am I a joke to you?
There was a line. There's a line.
Like you got to think about it. As nutty as the Godzilla movies can get, they looked at the 99 one and was like, am I a joke to you?
Like, understand, like,
is this what you think this nigga is?
The time travel is literally, hey, these time travelers came in, did the typical alien, we can cure you of all diseases, but we got to go back in time to make sure Godzilla doesn't get hit by the nuke. But we're going to put these Dorats in there to make a King Ghidorah, And then all of a sudden, Japan was like, shit, we need Godzilla back. All right, juice him up with a new nuke, and you made Godzilla way more stronger with your new nuke than the old nuke. Even one of the scientists was like, how did Godzilla get this strong? Well, we have new nukes now, modern technology, so that's why he's all juiced up and shit. So
my man's been hitting the gym.
yeah, because Godzilla literally.
Yeah, we thought it would be a good idea to put a brain of a human in a shark. What? But why?
This is how powerful.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Why would you do any of that?
Here's how powerful New Godzilla was. It literally murked one of King Ghidorah's heads in one shot, and it was like, oh shit. It was fucking hilarious.
You know, I think it feels like one of that line. And that's when the other scientists turn to the other side, it's like, well, that was a dumb idea. And we all laugh. It's like this. But if you heard it in Japanese, it was a lot more funnier. If you heard it in the actual Japanese,
So you see Ghidorah's head get blown off, and you're like, wow, it's nice knowing you guys. That was a good ride, wasn't it?
Man, see, I told you, man. Well, like, no, crank it up to 10. See, this is what happens when you do that. This is what exactly no, we trying to get him as strong as possible. Now, see that shit?
Your problem now.
Motherfucker,
Your
Tama out here one punching heads off dragons.
And somehow that Godzilla survived because we seen him return in Final Wars. He one shots every monster.
Well,
yeah, like I said, but to me that's funny, man. Like whoever owns the rights to
Sony.
Sony owns them. God, they need to put them out. I would love
to. It ain't Spider-Man, sir. So Sony's like, fuck you and your Godzilla.
And
because you gotta think about it.
And because there was no, from my understanding, again, I don't think there was ever a dub for those movies, which is why we never really got them.
Yeah, I think actually, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah got a dub. After that, it didn't.
Yeah, so that's like one. There's like one movie out of all the other ones because
that's only because there was American characters in that movie.
Exactly. So wasn't Godzilla Tokyo SOS like that? Didn't get a dub, did it?
No, it just got subbed.
I thought so.
Yeah, it got subbed. Yeah,
Godzilla's in a very weird place for anyone who's a collector. You know, Criterion Collection is a great starting point. After that, kind of on your own there.
Yeah,
you like them niggas in Texas in the early 90s that be getting the old Japanese tapes? You can get them. You're gonna have to travel.
But anyways,
I'm trying to see Vader in Japan. Well, there's a shop all the way in Lubbock, nigga. Yeah, you can do it. They got all the New Japan stuff up there, man. You're gonna have to drive.
Anyways, this is Godzilla 1954. This was fun. This was great.
And Eris, like usual, at this point we did the first one, so it's where Eris tells us to go next. When the next Godzilla movie is up to Eris. So I don't know if we're doing Shin Godzilla. We don't know if we're whatever the next one we're going. He could probably say, hey, let's go ahead and get all King of Monsters out the way. Not the new one that came out. I doubt he wanted to do
I don't know. Be honest
I
with you. I say we go nutty with it, but that's just me.
Well, you mean
I say you pick one from the 70s. Like, I say you get one that you want to get the fuck out the way. Not
Godzilla
because you hate
smog monster.
We got to get out the way.
No. See, Chris hit the nail on the head. For this next Godzilla, all three of us need to get high.
Yeah, we gotta get really nutty with this one. So it has to
and
be
that would be Godzilla versus Hedorah.
Yeah.
I mean, the psychedelic. The word Godzilla and psychedelic put together.
Bruh, they leaned so psychedelic into that movie. I remember watching it as a kid, like, this is boring. When we would get Godzilla, what is happening here?
There was so much psychedelic nonsense.
But it was an environmental message because
super environmental message. And Godzilla's a good guy.
Yeah.
So the next episode, everybody, next month actually, is going to be full of comedy. It's going to be full of comedy. This whole last year, we finally went through all these these big time. We went through all these action movies and all the rest of that. I thought to myself, we need to laugh. And the next movie that we're going to do is going to make us fucking laugh. Stars one of the greatest men that has ever walked this face of the earth. His name is Leslie Nielsen. And we go into the police files. Also, OJ is there.
Hello,
I
Twitter
love
world.
it. The siren. I love that theme song.
The best is when it just pops up in grocery stores driving through it. I was like, what the fuck is going on
I
here?
love in the third movie how all of a sudden it's on the ice with the LA Kings. You see it going on the ice.
The one, and Aris is gonna laugh at this. Actually, both of y'all at this. Remember the trope where every show had to do like a Star Wars reference? Remember they had them doing the freaking damn the run from the first Star Wars, A New Hope and shit, the Death Star run. I was like, okay, this is actually fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So, but like I said, I had to do something where next month we basically talked about.
And Khan is in that movie too, Ricardo Montalban.
Oh yeah, he is in the first one, isn't he? I remember Reggie. I know Reggie Jackson was in the first one.
Hey Reggie, what's going on? Hey, it's Reggie Jackson.
Oh, but we do that. We're also going to do a movie that I wanted us to do for a long time. That's Charlie Sheen movie. We're going to try to do Hot Shots, which holy shit, we finally do Hot Shots. I want us to do Dave Chappelle's first movie, and we're finally doing another Mel Brooks movie, and that will be Robin Hood Men in Tights, a movie that I wanted us to do for the longest time. I think it's time for us to do it now. It really get into it. And the last one I wanted to do was a movie that's kind of quirky. I don't think it's too much funny because I got to be real with you. It's been years since I've seen it. It's probably not that funny, but we got a lot to talk about. And that's Stay Tuned. I haven't seen Stay Tuned since I was a kid. I remember it being funny. Let's be real, Chris. You know what I mean. Where we go back like, yeah, this joke was kind of corny.
It's starring America's favorite wholesome comedy actor, John Ritter.
John Ritter, a man who clearly was sleeping with two women at the same time on a show, and everybody was cool with it. The 70s were awesome to be a white male.
Do that now. Everybody's speculating on who's fucking who, so you can't do that shit now.
Oh, come on, man. Susan, I'm gonna say Susan Sarandon. God, I forgot the one.
I forgot some Suzanne Summers.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah, her. Whatever. I had a joke for
AKA early Harley Quinn. There, I said it.
Okay, I give you that one. AKA proto Denise Richards. So whatever. But anyway, next month is going to be full of comedy. I don't know what we're going to do first. Like I said, more likely it's going to be Police Files. That's right, The Naked Gun, and it's going to be First of Many. All the rest of that good shit. I love this episode. So let's do it again, y'all. I think we're done.
All right, peace.
All right, pieces.